Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the McCabe Productions podcast, aka episode 160. It is now season 3 of the podcast. I'm your host, Mac, joined here as usual with my co-host with the most, Kristen, aka Miss Flamingo. Kristen, what's good in the hood?
It's all good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's 160 episodes. It's crazy. Like, how did we get here? You ever wonder why we're here? Yeah, we're 160, but it's a special 160 because we got a special interview done.
Yes.
Kristen was able to sit down. Our good folks at Blue Harbor Entertainment was kind enough to let us review one of their films and get to talk to the director Adam Finberg about his upcoming film Star People, which stars I like to say that stars. It stars Cunning, McCabe Slye, Connor Palolo, Eddie Martinez, Bradley Fisher, and Adriana Aluna Martinez. And the plot of Star People revolves around a photographer who receives a tip that could shed light on her childhood UFO sighting, but a heat wave and some unexpected guests threaten to derail her investigation.
Oh no.
I
Dun,
know.
dun, dun, dun.
So I will. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead, Mac.
So I will say, when we first got this film and when I found out it was UFO, if there's one thing that I love, I like a good UFO tale.
Well, we did talk briefly about UFOs when I was speaking with Adam. So I had a fun time talking about this film with him. Adam was really great. He gave a lot of insight on directing this film and working with Kat. I actually didn't realize it, but she was in On Swift Horses, which is a film I read the book for. I still want to watch it. Not great reviews, but I was happy to see her in this film. So I think she's a good actress, and I kind of had fun with this film. I think this film looks great cinematically wise. Like, I think seeing this on the big screen would look really cool because I commented on the cinematography because I really like the nighttime sky shots, like this with the stars. Like, everything looks really pretty here. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good watch. So,
I
what did you
agree.
think, Ben?
I agree.
So,
The cinematography was, I think, stand out. Like I mentioned, with when you do a movie about I think I like the idea of a photographer who had a UFO sighting when she was a kid and was like, I'm a photographer, so I'm gonna get that perfect shot. It always reminded me of like an alternate version of Nope, the Jordan Peele movie, when they were
yeah,
trying to
you could
capture
say that.
that they were trying to capture the Oprah shot of Jean Jacket. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, you can say that. But I thought it was a good watch. I was surprised how it turned out. And this is Adam's first feature film debut. He's worked on other projects, but this is like one where he actually got to, write the story, work on the story, and really develop. And he always had this interest in the this UFO sighting that is mentioned in the film, and it really did happen in real life. I believe it was 1997 because I didn't hear of this like before. I know it's inspired by other TV shows and films like this concept that
The Phoenix Lights.
Like I never really heard of it because I'm not into that kind of like UFO stuff. I think it's just interesting when a filmmaker does explore it. But
I am.
I know you are.
I actually I do know about this event. It was very unique, what they were describing the sighting is, and there's actually some photos of it because it's one of those UFO sightings that is well known but it's kind of hidden. Like I know Roswell gets talked a lot about the most, but I feel like the Phoenix Lights are the second more important like kind of thing that happened with that.
Oh, okay. See, I'm not too familiar with it. So now that I'm talking to you and I got to speak to Adam about it, now I am aware of it.
We'll say it's
So,
the best movie about the Phoenix Light because I don't know if you remember that 2017 found footage one, Phoenix Forgotten.
yes, I remember that. I
This is
remember that.
this one is does a better job. That's what I'll say.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if did I see it? I don't even remember.
That came out
But I
like
rem
8 years
yeah,
ago.
I know I got that it came out like 8 years ago, but just thinking about it, it's just like, oh yeah, that movie that nobody really cared for.
That was produced by Ridley Scott. But no, this is Star People is a very it's a very quiet, very ambitious film. It was great to
Mhm.
watch it, and we were happy, or Kristen was happy to sit down with Adam and discuss it. So, Kristen, should we go into the interview?
Yeah, let's jump right on into the interview with Adam. Please enjoy.
Claire, come back.
So I have to ask you first, how did you come up with the concept of Star People and why did you want to tell this story?
Oh, great question. Well, I mean, I grew up in Phoenix, and back in 1997, when the Phoenix Lights happened, are you familiar? Were you familiar with the Phoenix Lights
Not
prior to this? Yeah.
100%. I'm a late
No,
90s baby, so I
oh,
was
no
a
worries.
little too young for that when that happened.
So, well, in '97, there was this incident in Phoenix where thousands of people saw these strange lights move across the state, and it's still to this day the largest UFO mass sighting that's happened in North America. And it always sort of had stuck with me as this strange event. It's been covered in TV series and documentaries and popular culture, and it had always felt like a great jumping off point for a story for me. I mean, also I'm a bit of a space nerd. Growing up in the 90s, or sorry, in the eight when I grew up in the 80s, the Carl Sagan and the Voyager, spacecraft were first taking pictures of the universe, and I just was really wanted to tell a story that connected us on the ground to what's above, I guess is the best way to say it. Um, and then the characters, though, really came out of a work I did on I directed a documentary about 10 years ago called The Business of Recovery, which was kind of about the addiction treatment industry. And in the making of that, I interviewed a number of individuals who were struggling with addiction, of drugs and alcohol, and a variety of substance abuse disorders. And I learned a lot about the psychology of change. And, in the making of that, some of those subjects unfortunately died from drug or alcohol abuse during the making of the film, some later.
Oh,
And, it always had kind of haunted me in that there was this sort of pain and trauma that was just people. It was very like everyone knows someone that's struggling with something. It's
right.
just a fact of life. Um and I think just as I was developing this story, I really felt that draw to that sort of experience of what I learned from the making of that. I wanted to bring those characters to kind of come out of that experience. So that's where those characters started from for me.
Going into I'm more interested to know of like the special extraterrestrial stuff and UFO stuff, but do you believe in that kind of stuff and all that sightseeing that was happening? Do you have like your ties to that? Do you think there's a great beyond out there then?
I think there are a lot of unknowns in the universe. I think there is extraterrestrial life somewhere out there. I don't know how. I think the things that are witnessed on Earth are maybe a little hard to explain.
Hmm.
There was a great analogy. Carl Sagan once explained how a two-dimensional being would view a three-dimensional object coming through, like an apple dropping through its surface. You wouldn't see an apple. You might just see the strange curved line. Well, in our world, I think that there are certain things that we see that we don't fully understand because they're not really explainable in terms of our day-to-day lives yet.
Yeah.
So, for whatever that means, that is sort of my belief that there are unexplainable things out there,
Oh,
and
definitely.
I don't think they can be put into concrete things that we can talk about right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. No, of course. But I know that you bring up Carl Sagan. Was there anybody else or other films, maybe books that inspired you to help or have influenced you?
Sure. I mean, Close Encounters was always in my mind. I mean, it's just the kind of obsession with beings. I one movie that I always was influenced by was Brazil, by a Terry and Gilliam movie from the early '80s.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah, yeah.
I just think there's a certain parallel to today in it, but like the filmmaking in that movie really always grabbed me. And I think one of the things was the visual structure of a movie like that
Yes.
also really grabbed me because like not some films have a very defined visual structure. I mean, I tried with this film, although we were on somewhat of a limited budget, but we were able to create, I think, a visual language. And um, Brazil. I think if any of your listeners haven't, Brazil is a great movie if you haven't seen it. For
Yes, of
anyone out there.
course. I mean, I've seen it. I think it's a great, one of Terry's best. But talking about the visual style, you had a great cinematographer on this project because I loved the night sky shots. They looked so beautiful and magnificent. Can you talk about working with your cinematographer and what cameras you used?
Sure. Well, I have to say though that it wasn't. It was so Aidan Chaperone, my cinematographer, wonderful joy to work with. But it was both him and Brian Tooker, my effects artist, who were both used to. Both of them came together with me to create all of the images that we wanted. Because the cameras can't capture the stars and their subject. You just can't do
Right.
it.
Yeah, you can't.
So all of the stars were brought in post. We had to figure out for every shot we wanted stars. We had to talk about it ahead of time and all of the effect shots. So anytime there's stars or anything in the sky, those were all added by Brian. We shot with a Arri 35. It's like a
Oh,
4K,
nice.
it's like a
Yeah, yeah.
4K. Got great. Yeah, I got beautiful images. We used the prime lens package with it. We tended to go for like normal length lenses. We were typically using like 50 to 85s, but yeah, I mean, Aiden and Brian did an incredible job executing and making the film come to life.
Well, it looks so fabulous. And one of the other strong points about this film is your cast. What was it like working with Kat Cunning and everybody else?
They were such a joy to work with. I mean, when I discovered Kat was going to be like Claire, it was very exciting moment because obviously as a writer, it's the first time I'm actually seeing a character kind of come to life in front of me. Now at the time it was on a Zoom recording because auditions now are a lot of them recorded. And I just knew that seeing them on this small screen, like I knew that once we got to the set, it was going to be even more powerful. Like if I'm feeling it through this like Zoom call, I was like, wow, this is really going to grab me once we get to set. And then finding McCabe was just about finding the right chemistry. And McCabe and Kat were able to create this sort of brother sister tension so well. And then Connor Palolo was also a joy to work with. I mean, he brought so much, to like everyone had their own way of approaching their characters, and Connor was kind of becoming in as a bit of the bad guy, and it was fun to
Yeah.
work with him though to figure out how to make them how to have depth in all of these things, how to make him have an earnestness, his character to have this like earnestness and realism to what he believed. And then Eddie and who played Ricardo, I cast his actual real daughter as Adriana,
Oh,
who played
wow.
his daughter Gabby, which I didn't know at first. I cast Eddie, and then we were trying to then find who the daughter would be, and then Eddie was like, have you met my daughter, Adriana, who's also an
Yeah.
actor?" And I watched an audition that Adriana did, and I was like, "This is amazing." I mean, they obviously have a father-daughter chemistry to begin with, and she was great. Did fantastic in the role. So that was kind of how that came, and then Bradley Fisher, who also was sort of one of our antagonists in the film, was able just brought me, I thought, kind of a unique sort of line of the bad guy without really knowing how bad he was or wasn't.
Yeah. What did you learn as a filmmaker? Because I know from what I understand, this is your first feature length film, and you had a wonderful premiere at Dances with Films in LA, a great film festival. I've gone to the New York one. What did you learn throughout this whole process?
Oh, like the whole filmmaking process?
Yes, the whole filmmaking process, everything.
I learned that you need a rattlesnake wrangler when you shoot in the Arizona desert.
Okay.
I learned, I learned that you have to be flexible as a director to sort of bend with the breeze because there's so much that happens on when you're actually filming. You have to be ready to hone in on and help it grow, I guess is the best way to say it, because you're
Yeah.
trying to create these real moments, and you can play. We had so much planning, but a lot of times we had to make changes on the day of for a variety of reasons, and being flexible and having trust with those around you and getting the best team of filmmakers and cast around you really, I thought, is the only way a film like this was able to get
Yeah.
made.
Flexibility is always like the well thing that directors talk to me most about, like is like changing things up last minute. One scene can't happen, so they have to plan accordingly, different, and it's all change up. So, my final question for you is, as we wrap up, what is it like working with Blue Harbor Entertainment and helping you bring your vision to the big screen?
Oh, it's been great. I mean, I from our early conversations, they just really connected with the film, and I like their strategy of how to get a film like this in front of as wide of an audience as we could. It's obviously it's an independent film,
Yeah.
and I think it's challenging to find the right home for an independent film sometimes, and we live in a changing landscape in terms of how things are distributed. So they've
Mm-hmm.
just been great from day one and connected me with some really talented people to help get it out there.
Yeah, of course. They're just a great spirit for independent film. So I'm happy I got to connect with you and speak on this film. So thank you so much for your time.
Well, that was a great interview, Kristen. Once again, you killed it on that. You are a better interviewer than me. I'll say that.
Thank you, my friend. But again, we have to bring you on for more episodes. Most of these press check-ins, y'all, happen during the day when there's like a lot of work time. People are busy doing their actual jobs. I have the free time to step away for a short time to, talk with these filmmakers. So I'm hoping one day you have a free day and you're like, hey, I can join you on this press junket. And I would love that because I think the show's more fun when I get to do it with my bestie. That's the thing.
I'm gonna cry now.
Oh, bring out the waterworks.
But no, we want to give great thanks to Blue Harbor Entertainment and Adam Finberg for allowing us the opportunity to watch the film early, get to cover it, and talk to him about the film. It'll be available in theaters and VOD on July 25th, so give it a watch. And it's going to be on a wider release digitally on August 12th. Link in the description for more information on the film. But Kristen, what do we got coming up for these episodes? Because I'm going on vacation soon.
Yeah, you're going on vacation. I'm going on vacation later on this year, but we got some fun in between all of this happening. We're going to talk Superman in the next few days. We're going to go back to 2015 to discuss Fantastic Four before we talk about the new Fantastic Four movie, which surprisingly is getting great reviews. And I'm happy. I'm happy. Hey, is Marvel coming back in a big way? We'll see.
Maybe it's
But yeah,
fantastic.
maybe it is fantastic. I know what you're quoting there, but
Maybe.
yeah, we have some other surprises in store. We thought about looking back at the Conjuring film since we are getting the final chapter in the Conjuring film. So we have a lot of stuff planned, deep stuff in the works. So guys, please be sure to follow us on all of our social medias. Mac, where can the good people find us?
You can find us on our Instagram at MNK Productions Podcast. Make sure you donate to our Patreon. It is $1 a month, first 7 days free. Shout out to our patrons for the month, y'all, the real MVPs. Link in the description to go and support us there. You can also check us out on Toxic. We on the internet. We be doing good. And you can also subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is the MNK Productions Podcast. And until
Yeah,
next
yeah,
time,
yeah.
I've been Mac. This has been Kristen, and you've been listening to the MNK Productions Podcast. Peace.
Bye.